So, good morning. Good to see you guys. Hopefully, we'll have a couple more people popping in. And I guess this is, a good half of our Monday class. But I'll go ahead and I'll post this recording after we get off the call. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't think today should take any longer than 30 minutes, just because there's a little bit of housekeeping stuff. And then we're just going to talk about like dressing appropriately for interviews and having a good interview environment on Zoom, which I will use my office as an example of what not to do when we get to there. So for all of those of you guys who check your Canvas inbox, I'm sure you all saw that as of Friday, I will no longer be accepting any late work, but that is stuff for August, September, and October. So if you go and check your grades and you don't have anything, or if you have something that you got a 0 in for because you didn't turn in, or you got a bad grade on and it was from August, September, October, you have until Friday to redo that and resubmit it. This does not include the stuff that was due in November. You'll have a little bit more time for like if you got a really bad score on your resume and you want to redo it, then you'll still have a chance after Friday to go and fix that. The November 20th late work deadline is just for stuff that was October, September, and August. So any questions on that? Okay, looks like nope. So capstone project. What I've noticed for some of the job descriptions is that it looks like a lot of people, or I guess probably a lot of it is the people who are talking to you for that or who you're interviewing. They might not have given what we think of as very good job descriptions, right? Let me pull up the speed grader and see if there's Brian, do you mind if I show yours? It's like, can you guys even hear me? I should be. Okay. Well, let's see if someone else. Who else is in here? Matt, you're in the no. Okay, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Brian, I didn't see the text. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys here. Okay, so here is the job description that Brian turned in. And that's one that I'm going to assume you got from whoever is going to be interviewing you. That is perfect. That is exactly what we're looking for. But sometimes you might not get this from people. So I talked to, so like the person whose this is, she told me, she's like, the person who I talked to, this is the only thing that they gave me. That is, if that's what you get from them, then yes, you could ask for more. But, if they just, if they don't have it or are too busy to send it to you, then sometimes this is what you have to work with to base your cover letter off of. So while ideally you will have, something that looks like this that you can scan in, or, just submit if they send it to you in a Google or just like in a regular Microsoft Office doc or a PDF or whatever, then you'll be able to use a lot more of this information in your cover letter than, if you have just a couple sentence thing from the person who emailed you. And and as you can see, I have put in all of the grades for this. So please go and check that. And if you have a 0, please make sure that you are getting something from the person you're interviewing. And this is kind of what you're looking for. And you can even just Google job description and be like, this is the kind of the format they wanted in. So can you please send me the job description for this position? And it should look like this. It should have some of your duties and expectations of things that you will have to complete in this position. So any questions from that? And I will pull up the chat this time so we can see that if anyone has any questions in chat. Okay. So, also with that, I will probably be opening the final next week, if not midweek this week, because they want us to be using the Respondus lockdown browser, and I don't want to make you guys download that on your own computer because it's just kind of obnoxious. Honestly, having to download that stuff on your own computer. So what I will do is, like I said, I will open that so that you guys can go into the library probably at any time and be able to take that anytime before we leave for Thanksgiving. So actually, I really need to do it probably today then, if you're not coming back after Thanksgiving because we're going remote, because that gives you a week to take it. And of course, I'll leave it open, until finals week or whatever. But if you just want to go ahead and go do it so you don't have to download the lockdown browser for your home computer, then we'll call that kosher. Oh, and then it's going to make me probably do all of this. So I'll do that on my own time, actually. I don't think I can require the camera, though, if it's in the library. So oh yeah, I don't think we're, dude, I hate the webcams. Okay, yeah, so we're not gonna do the webcam. We're just gonna have the lockdown browser for that. Okay, so there we go. That's already all set up. So what are your questions on any other assignments or any things that we have coming up? Because basically, like I said, we're in the downhill slide. We're getting into the capstone project, but I do have a large number of people who just are missing a lot of things. Yeah, our average grade for this class right now is 70%. No questions, no comments, no concerns? Okay. You guys can always shoot me an email or whatever. So I am fine with that. Okay, last but not least, let me stop my screen sharing so that you guys can see me. Wait, nope, I want to stop the share. Yes, the library will be open afterwards for those people who are staying. So, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be going home. Like I know I won't be on campus after Thanksgiving. So, but yeah, they'll still have tutoring and stuff at the library if you need it. So please take advantage of it as needed. So, and then you can see Justin there. Okay, so the last thing that we are going to be talking about today is dressing appropriately for your mock interviews. So some of you guys have already completed your mock interviews. Dude, that's great. Perfect. You're ahead of the curve, and I wish I would have been as on top of it in school as you guys are, who are already pretty much done with this class in November. But for those of you who haven't, there are a couple things to kind of keep in mind when you are prepping for it. So most of your interviews are going to be on Zoom or Skype or something like that. You will have to record it so that I can go through and I can watch and grade it. So you'll need to know how to use Zoom, and I think I've put a couple videos in on how to do that. But one of the things you need to consider is how you look, especially from like the bust up, and how your background looks. So obviously this is my office. My office is pretty distracting background wise. I have pictures, I have flowers, I have a bag of pop cans back there. Please don't judge me. I have like a heater in the window and a candle warmer. There's a lot of visual noise going around. Like there's a lot of just visual noise in general. You might not be focused on me because you might be like, oh, that's a cute little painting back there with a little fox and the field mouse. Oh, I want one, or whatever. So you need to find a place that is not distracting, somewhere where you can shut the door, where it's going to be quiet, where, you're not going to have, dogs barking or trains passing. Well, I mean, I guess you really can't control the train schedule. I'm sorry. But just where it's going to be not distracting for whoever you're talking with. Like I can hear there's people in the break room right next to me that are chatting, but you guys probably can't hear that. So as long as you guys can't hear it, it's probably fine. So, if we have a room that is kind of busy like this one is there a place in the room that we can go that is going to be less distracting? So for me, that is just me moving over here to my wall where there is nothing on. So it's more easy to focus on me. And it kind of looks like the lighting right here is not very good though, probably because there's like a shelf right there. But with a non-distracting background, it's easier to focus on what the people are saying. And then, of course, you want to look put together. Like, you guys have no idea if I'm wearing pajama pants or not. I'm not, obviously, because I'm at work. But, that is something to consider. Like, what is your field of view for your camera? So, like, right here, it's just shoulders up. I can move it down, though, and you can see more of how I'm sitting. Because the computer's a little bit further away, my camera's a little bit wider of an angle. So then if I was wearing pajama pants, sitting like this, and if I'm sitting like this or whatever, you'd be able to see that pajama pants. And if you're a tiny little corner, your video, you might not notice. It's like, oh yeah, they can see my pants, or they can see this giant stain that I have on this shirt, or what. So just kind of be cognizant of what the camera view is and what it can see of you, and then are you dressed appropriately for what they can see? So I'm not saying you can't wear pajama pants during your virtual interview, because have at it. Just make sure that they are not in the view. So, like with a regular interview that you'd have in person, you want to look nice. You want to look put together. You want to make sure that your hair is, maybe not, super perfect, but it's at least done. So like for me, this is my hair. It's done. It's out of my face. It's not distracting. It's there. If I was in an interview, I'd probably take off this just because, it's a little distracting. It's a bright color. So there's a little less distraction, especially since I'm in my office alone. My door is shut, the door is locked. No one's going to be coming in to make me put it back on, especially if I'm there. You can put a note on your door that says, in an interview or recording, please do not disturb. So I kind of lost my train of thought, guys. I'm sorry. Oh well. So what are your questions from there? Have most people, I think pretty much everyone has at least contacted who they want to interview, right? Can I get some like thumbs up or whatever from the reactions? But is there anyone who at this point has not been able to set up their interview yet? They don't have their interview scheduled yet. Okay. So everyone pretty much has their interview scheduled or got that lined up. Okay, so yours not scheduled. Okay. So I would definitely suggest, like, by the end of today, shooting out an email or a text or call them or whatever, however you've been contacting them, and just saying, hey, can we, hammer out the time where we can sit down and do this mock interview, just so that you have it on the schedule, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it getting set up, at least. And then the sooner you do it, obviously, the better it'll be, because then, if you get it done before Thanksgiving, you don't have to worry about it over Thanksgiving at all. Okay. So, do you guys have any thoughts, questions on that? For those of you who've been in lots of interviews before, or at least a couple, do you guys have any tips or tricks for your classmates that maybe I haven't thought to say because it's been a long time since I've been in an interview? Okay. Okay, well, let me do attendance really, really fast if my internet will cooperate. So just stay on the line for like 30 more seconds. Or, okay, it's not going to work on my laptop. Why do you do this to me, EAC internet? Okay, so we got Taya, Brian, no Jesse, we got Asia, do we got Brian? Okay, we got Garson, do we got Emily? No. Oh, I think we're getting into the Wednesday people. But we got Justin and Steven and Nathan and Mara. And we got Matt, right? Yep, I saw Matt earlier. Okay, so if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to stop the recording. I'll post this in case I guess you want to reference it back, but it's one of those things like if you were here, then you should be good. Justin, I'll stay on the line for you. So Thank you guys. And please, seriously, like when questions come up, do not be afraid to email me. Like I am happy to answer. I'm happy to answer questions. Like that's what I'm here for. Like I know it's been a really weird semester with just life. But I want to make sure that you guys are successful. So if you need help with assignments or whatever, like I will come to the library, I will help you. Like I will help you find a tutor if, I'm not available with that. Like just, we will get it done. We'll get it figured out. So, all right.